gone to the congressman, met with him, and he explained to them reasons that he believes that they're not coming to Arkansas. And we won't get into politics, so. But anyway, Tom and I would love for at least number 2 and number 3, and I assume what was number 11 that you were wanting to do, the last one, maybe go to,
Right.
to
You
end
could-
up being all put into a study session, maybe next week late, or something like that. But we would like for it to happen.
You wanna have it next Wednesday or Thursday?
If,
You don't, Thursday's not good for you? No, it is. Oh, it is? So June 11th?
It's not good for me, but y'all can have it without me.
so Charlotte,
I'm voting for it, whatever.
would we wouldn't be able to adopt my resolution
We have a lodge meeting Thursday.
at that time, would we?
No,
We'll go there and
But
defend the
y-
city council.
you could schedule a study session and, you know, say that I don't know, I mean, you got the 2 hours you gotta do for a voting meeting, so that'd be hard to hit.
You could
So-
always just pass this tonight, and then if y'all agree that y'all want me to do it, tell the mayor to tell me to do it.
Well, for
And-
right now, then,
And if you don't, tell the mayor to tell me not to do it.
okay, well, for right now, then, I make a
Tom
a
has,
motion.
has,
Yes, Tom?
I just want you to know, there's a lot of work that's already been preliminarily done by Charlotte and Stuart.
That's fine.
Charlotte and Stuart have worked on, and now he's turned this over to me Friday. He's highlighted all the parts that he wants the financial information on, which I'm doing this week. So, I mean, getting this ready is probably something that can be done, and you can send it in.
Okay,
We're working as though it's a go, so I don't have a problem with that, but there's a lot of moving parts to not only the SAFER grant and what that implication is on number 11 that you want to talk about, as well as the discussion on bond financing that is in item 3. So I'd like to take it offline from this meeting so that we can banter all options. I just gave him a snippet today of some of the things that you have to consider on this. So
it's very intensive.
it is.
Chief, can you cliff notes what SAFER grant is?
No, the SAFER grant is, remember the grant that we got back in 2000, I think it was 2005? Steve
Mhm.
Tedford actually wrote the grant,
Yep.
and he did it for the fire department. We received the grant, but then we found out that, you know, when it's done, you still have to keep your firefighters and keep
Yeah.
them hired, and it was gonna cost us little, I don't know if it's a little less than $1 million, but over 5 years, and after that, on that 6th year, we were having to pay full price for 10 personnel. And so at the time, we just didn't have I mean, I think our budget, I don't remember, our budget might have been $117,000 at that year or something. I think he was on the council and Rod's on the council, and we had just I'd just been here for a year or two, and that was when Mayor Edwards asked me into his office and said, and actually I went into his office and they said we have to either turn this down or something. I said, but it's been a while and it's already been several years. And so we discussed it and had to turn it down. But what this does is it pays, right now, is different than what it was then. Back then, it was for 5 years. Now it's only 3. The percentage is 20% that we pay into it the first year on all salaries. The second year will be 20%. And then the third year is, what is it, 60?
65.
I have different numbers from the
Yeah.
documents that you provided me. It's now been revised according to what I'm reading here. It's 75, 75, and 65, not 80, 20.
25, you mean,
It's in section H of this, so there's something different.
okay.
It says right here in the first and second years of the grant, the amount of federal funding exceeds 75%. It says, the recipients are to contribute 25% of the actual cost of each of the first 2 years, and 65% of the actual cost of
There you go.
the third. So, 80, 20, 75, 25.
And that's because we have a 5% match.
but it's
so-
different from the first time because you can do less.
The
Bodies.
first time was a 5-year grant process, and so it was 20%, 40%, 60%, 80%, and then
Well,
100.
How many
First time it had to be for an entire shift, now it can be just four,
We,
right?
we don't know that for sure.
Okay.
We've been digging into it to see if there's a
Okay.
benefit to having a three-man shift versus two. I think you can apply for the two, but if it's not meeting the NFPA priority, they may set it over to the side and say, this doesn't meet all the needs, and everybody else that meets NFPA goes in
Okay.
front of it. But we,
All right, so
I
maybe-
went through a webinar last week,
Maybe we
and
wanna have a Thursday night, did you say Thursday night?
11?
The-
Next Thursday.
The next
What time?
Thursday, and
What time?
That's at your pleasure.
6 o'clock?
Y'all want six?
Six PM.
okay, so,
Can't do it Tuesday night, bring all the department over here?
you don't want that.
This could be your fire meeting.
Yeah, they'll start asking for raises for what they're doing.
I've done a 5-year pro forma, I've done a pro forma with the 2 and a pro forma with the 3, there were 6 or 9 full-time.
okay,
So I have the numbers based on historical what we have, plus inflationary growth over the 5 years. It's very detailed statement.
so I would like to move my other discussion to that same meeting
Thank you, council.
of a bond for the Fire Station 3.
Yes.
And Stuart, you would like for me to move, paid for shift, paid for call on shift?
So you want those 3 items on the study session agenda?
We'll just move that all.
All right.
So in the meantime, so we don't end up having to call a special call meeting, do y'all wanna go ahead and pass the resolution? And he can wad it up and trash it if he don't do anything? Okay, I make a motion, we adopt the resolution for adequate staffing and emergency response through the SAFER grant.
It's a submission of the grant, right?
Right.
Application.
Second?
Motion and second.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Meeker?
Yes.
Mr. Terry?
Yes.
Mr. Rainwater?
Yes.
Mr. Tedford?
Yes.
Mr. Powell?
Yes,
It's unanimous.
All right, thank you.
Do you want, so you want this is adopted until y'all ever repeal it or not? It's adopted. Okay.
So then we can put these other items to
Yeah, the study session
study session.
on 6/11/26 at 6 PM.
So are you saying that on 6/11, do we need to make that a voting meeting as well, or
No,
not?
just a discussion.
Did right here with the resolution right here? Okay.
We'll get this process.
Okay, moving on, number 5, or, I'm sorry, 4, is Rod Powell discussion on unbudgeted financial impacts to the city.
Okay.
City funds, sorry.
so, I don't know what we may, I don't know if we should develop a resolution. I think we've been doing some stuff out of practice. It caught me when Water and Sewer Commission's different. They operate financially a lot more autonomous than we do. They are parasitic on our facilities and financial and those type of things, but they don't do anything really that impacts our general fund. So I'm targeting this more around general fund. And it kind of caught me when the Parks Commission had asked to change the nomenclature. They weren't going to change, they weren't asking for a salary increase. They were just talking about nomenclature on a body. And what really kind of threw me was Mr. Meeker, Ralph, had said, asked about this person, and turns out they've already been hired. And he said, this is a step that should have been done prior to approval. And I kind of agree with that terminology. Those positions in there what they're doing affects the general fund. And general fund is what we are always scrambling over, trying to figure out what we're gonna do and what our priorities are. And we've had discussions. Me and AC have really kind of drawn the line on bodies going to the fire department. You know, you're more likely to die in a fire, unnatural death in Greenwood. You're more likely to die in a fire than you are to be murdered or something. And we have, I think when things happen, you kind of start questioning your priorities. And if you've got 4 people working in parks, and it seems to be a willy-nilly deal, and I think, you know, we're constantly neglecting the priorities we have with the fire department with people's lives. So it started making me think, anything that has to do with the general fund, we need to know about. And I guess the only one that I can think of that we don't already know about, because the mayor would be involved, would be the Parks Commission. I don't care if they buy pink swing sets, purple swing sets, do inclusive parks. I don't care about all that. I wish they just make their own decision, do that. But when it comes to bodies, that 9% that we budget, which turns out to be about $255,000 a year, that's coming from general fund. And when they make decisions that affect that general fund, we need to know in advance. Because if we're scrambling for money, the last thing we want to know is they put another body on, I know that they're working within their budget. But so are other departments, and we're constantly having to reprioritize what they're doing when it comes to the general fund. Because the general fund's for everybody. I didn't know if anybody felt the same way I did. And if
What did you say about the mayor involvement? I didn't hear what you said.
you know what's going on. I mean, in other departments,
Right,
when they're doing something that might affect the general fund.
sure. Well, I know after they do it.
Well, that's kind of a problem.
It is a problem.
That's my point.
And the problem is,
That-
as you know, I don't know where you were headed with that, but let me clarify. I go to Parks Commission's meetings and I sit back there where Sonny Bell's standing and I hear what they're doing. They approve it. It's approved. I have no vote, no say-so, no control because it is a Parks Commission.
That's, I think what he was saying,
I just wondered if
that
that's
is-
what you were.
is that if it were under you, you would be
Yeah.
coming
I'm
here.
saying that in
Okay.
planning,
I think.
you know. In streets, you know.
Right,
Now, there are things that are done in streets that don't affect
right.
the general fund. And
Right.
I'm talking about when, I like the fact that the parks has a meeting and they decide to buy swing sets and build trails. That is their priority.
Yeah,
But-
I don't have an issue with that.
But when it comes down to that little bit of general fund, that 9% that we give them,
Right.
we need to know what's going on.
Well,
Now-
because their tax doesn't pay for salaries, so.
Casey came to us, if I recall, last month, I guess I could look at the minutes, and we approved the hiring of another, we didn't have to approve her. I mean,
Well, they'd already hired them,
it doesn't, well, we don't, no, if she's not fun, I mean, we
yeah.
didn't have to approve the hiring. And that's ultimately, I guess, I don't know if that's an administrative deal, or he didn't have to approve her either, I'm just saying, we said, yeah, okay. I mean, we have a check and balance there that, and I guess you're just saying you were just surprised that there was a new body being hired when we,
I don't like surprises.
well, it was already a funded position, just now it's, I guess there's more money being paid to this person. No, same salary? Yeah, so I mean,
And
Right.
it's fine, I do, like I stated before, I do think they're operating within their budget. But so are street department, these other departments. But when we're they don't know if we're scrambling for money. And we're trying to turn over rocks for money and trying to save and scrunch, and they're doing things that, that affect the general fund that I think we need to know about before they enact it.
well, I understand your argument, but I'm just saying, in this case, you're referencing, it didn't affect the general fund, I don't believe, because it was already a budgeted position, just,
Yeah, it was.
the
within
person may
their
have got a title, but it's gonna be different.
It wasn't budgeted though, was it? It was not an existing position. It was a new one
It was a
added.
new position.
But there was a body getting that,
It's there. The full-time
but-
equivalent stayed the same.
yeah, right, I mean,
And to, just for the fun of it, the commission, and that wasn't derogatory toward the commission, what I said, because that's not my role. I'm the mayor. I'm just here they asked me if I have any thoughts, and as does Water and Sewer, and I appreciate that. But Tom is here for all of those meetings, and he brings to light not just Parks Commission things, but, am I right? They understand, they know what's happening with the general. So, they're aware of it.
I would say
I
ultimately,
don't disagree with what you're saying at all, but
well, I would say ultimately, any position that gets either created or the body, I feel like they at least come to us and say it's happening, and we have the option of saying no, or, I mean, but unfortunately, that's what the budget's all about. We approve the Parks Department / commission gets this cachet of money, and then since we create all these commissions a long time ago, which we all know I hate every one of them, they just go spend wherever they want. So we really don't have any say over what a commission does with their department. All we do is just say, here's your $500,000, have fun this year, and we'll see you next year, or whatever the number might be.
255.
Well, I think we do have, you might not say we have complete control, but we do have some influence, especially saying that 9%, that 250,000, still, it can impact, the Parks Department. And I still think that, yes, it's almost like saying, we're doing something, then we're asking for forgiveness, and you say, hey, it's already been done. And it didn't really give us a time to, it was presented and say, well, it's already a done deal, so let's just go ahead and go along with it, especially when you say it's kind of budget neutral. But still, I think, they should give us consideration and time to really discuss it, to say, whether we have a, ability to say, well, no,
Well, just like Mr. Newcomb's argument, if he goes to the Water Commission, which he's very wisely said, I'm not going to, I didn't elect them. But if if his situation gets brought up to them and they say, oh, we're not gonna repay him, I feel like we have the authority to say, we're gonna refund him his sewer money if the commission doesn't want to. I don't know how the ordinance is written, as us versus the commission, but that's always been my argument. The people elected us, and if a citizen thinks he should get refunded and the commission doesn't, we should be able to override anything any commission does. That's how, if it's not that way, it should be, I think. Like I said, we're elected. I mean, that's just, we represent the people of Greenwood, not any commission.
And another thing to think about is,
yeah, if council's good with it. Council, you need to come to the mic, sir.
Oh,
Huh? Jim, come to the mic, please. Mr. Newcomb, I'm sorry.
Oh, I love it, sounds good.
Thank you.
Honorable.
That's exactly what I meant. Thank you.
Yeah,
From the bottom of my heart, thank you.
yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
okay,
thank you
so,
on record.
so one other point is, if, when you're talking about bodies, that's gonna be a natural part of growth. I mean, we've got the inclusive park now. That park has to be mowed. So we replaced a person who's gonna be doing the park program right now, and we don't need a person mowing. So that person replaced the person who's mowing. But when you do an inclusive park and then something else, you have more to mow. And so all of those decisions are gonna impact the general fund in terms of people that you have to hire. So we're not just looking at, I need a person, you're gonna look at the projects too. How much more maintenance, how much more this, how much more that, how much more people to maintain it. But that's just a part of our growth.
So a commission has the ability to work within their budget, and they can maybe even get rid of 2 people and hire just 1 for those 2 salaries, but what happens for the future?
Well, I'm just
Does
saying
the
that
council say, no, we don't?
as the Parks Commission engages in new projects, there's gonna be a byproduct of a new body that at some point has to be added. So you're not just looking at people, you're looking at projects too, because with every project comes maintenance and people to do that kind of work. So, I mean, it's all good for the city, but just be prepared for more people. I mean, that's
Well,
just the way it works.
with these financial triggers that we've also put into place through the ordinance, I mean, it's even that much more important that each one of these departments are very mindful of what they're doing and how it's impacting the general fund.
Right.
Right.
Can I make a recommendation? ordinance 1215 is the ordinance, the law, that you guys approved, establishing the Parks Commission. I'd like to make sure that what you're saying up here is in concert with what the actual ordinance that you gave them the authority to do, and I'll read section 2's first line.
Is it 12:15, is that what you said?
12:15. The commission established by this ordinance shall have full and complete authority with respect to its operation and with respect to the collection and distribution of the revenues derived from the operation, and it goes on and on and on. Point is, if you're gonna pull back on some of that, you need to make sure that that ordinance is in concert with what your intention is, because this is the law.
Sure, it's the law, and it says that, yeah, once we give them the money, but we still have, you know, it's not in there that we have to give them 9%.
No, you can change that tomorrow.
Sure.
Absolutely, that's your.
That's the check and balance we have.
Yes.
Is they have, when you're talking about personnel, this says they have the ability to do that without going to you.
Yep.
Because you gave them that.
And I agree with
All I'm
that
saying,
portion of it.
You can run that by the attorney, just to make sure. I'm not saying what you're saying isn't valid.
Right.
I'm saying make sure that what your intention is matches what the ordinance says. That's my recommendation.
And that's the same thing really with the Water Wastewater Commission.
Correct. And that follows the actual language of the state legislatures and all. It's almost word for word.
And I-
So,
I agree with that. It's the 9%, maybe we should just cut it to 4.5%.
well, it's a redistribution too. You've given it somewhere else.
Well, they
Right.
have, I mean,
With the
the
fire
commissions have to be aware of the 9%. They say, if I do this, then I've got 20 more hours of mowing.
Okay, they are aware of what their percentage
Yeah.
is, it's budget.
And so if they say we do this, then we would have to have another person. That's not in our, we don't have 9% that's gonna pay for all that. So they've gotta understand those
But
things.
you're,
I'm not, this isn't for, I'm
Yeah.
not arguing with you. I'm
Right.
just saying, get in concert with what your actual
Yes.
ordinance.
but you can't I have a lot of feelings on commissions. One, because it ties the hand of a mayor. The mayor is not,
That's why they were
I know,
created.
I know. And
then when you weren't
believe
the
me, I
mayor-
was on the other, I
Yeah,
was on
right.
the end to protect.
Right.
Because I was in Casey's shoes, and I respect that, and I appreciate it, and I always have. But it's tough, as the mayor, it's tough, because you see and watch and know, and you're talking about management from the commission, any commission. I'm not singling anybody out, but you're talking about management from a commission that is not paid. They're volunteers, which is great. I mean, they could walk out tomorrow. I'm done. I don't wanna play. But the only way you can, I guess control is the only word to use, is that you control the money that they get.
Well, I think too, though, as mayor, when you're standing back there, I think that you do have the power of influence. You can tell them to say, what your decision getting ready to make, can have an impact on, the rest of the city.
And
stuff.
believe me,
I would like you to really consider that.
Believe me, I have taken that opportunity. Does it ever matter? I'm not, this is not about, I'm mad at commission people, but it is all it is. You're right. It is hopefully some sort of stating, don't forget, here's what's gonna happen. But,
We also have the power
Plus
to
you have-
disband commissions.
That's correct.
well, you do, but more often than not, they have made their mind up, and I'm,
In
again,
executive
not,
session.
yeah, they've made their mind up. And certainly, on some occasions, I'll say, my power of influence is zilch.
Right.
Sure, for whatever reason. And the public, general public, I said today, if I go over the square today and say, hey, who's in charge of everything at City Hall? 90% of the people standing around would say, well, the mayor is. Well, no, he's not. He's really not. It's far from the truth. So it's a rock and a hard place.
We'll have to discuss his pay next budget.
And I agree, it is between a rock and a hard place, but And that's what we're negotiating right now. It's kind of, we're, you know,
Yeah,
we're
it's
in
good
a
dis-
rock and a hard place.
it's good
and-
discussion.
And so this is how we, you know, we need to, I say, we need to bring it up for discussion and just, you know, talk about it.
Well, we just control the purse strings as a body up here, and we also have the right to put it on next month to say, if we get them, whatever, 3/4 or 2/3, I'm sure it's in the state statute, we can say, oh, all commissions are defunct. And we can vote that and move on to the next item. I mean,
And I want to make a comment too.
I don't want to, I'm just saying, we
Yeah.
have, that's part
I-
of the check and balance.
I'd like to make a broader statement as the mayor, if I can. The commissions are doing a good job.
100%.
You don't have a $500,000 or $1 million inclusive park groundbreaking without somebody doing a really good job. And I'm gonna give kudos to Casey. He got a $500,000 grant, which is far bigger than any other grant we've received. Stuart tried to make a case today that his was bigger. Well, we didn't get to use it though. We accepted it, but we had to turn it down. You know, and I thought I did a good job when I was a parks director. I've got $250,000 here and 100 there and 50 there. I thought-
Without a commission.
Without a commission.
So I'm just saying, he
It was
could
a-
have got his without a
He
commission.
he
You know,
could. I'm just saying, I don't think they're doing a bad job.
No.
It's just hard sometimes to have input that truly matters. And that's gonna come across that I don't like a commission, but that's not necessarily what I'm saying,
That makes sense.
if that help, if that.
Just so you know, excuse me, just so you know, they discuss everything they wanna do through me. He's very good at communicating how it impacts the general fund, whether they have the money, could they use the expenditure and not manipulate, but work through their budget to save the money necessary in order to accommodate. We discussed that, and Charlotte and I do a good job to make sure that we keep them on point to say,
Yeah.
transparency, you need to go to the city council, and they
They
do.
do. They do.
So, they're informing you, they're also telling you what their plan is, they're telling you it's what the impact would be, and if they don't tell you, you look at me, and I tell you what the impact is to the general fund and whether it's neutral or positive or negative. And then decisions are made, but I can tell you, if at the time they bring it up, when I'm in that meeting, if I'm advising them that it's not something they need to be doing because they don't have the funds, or there's gonna be some radical changes that need to be made, it isn't even coming before you. They won't even do it. So I'm a kind of a stopgap
Yep.
between them and you making an irrational decision. But what I don't want is I don't want knee-jerk reactions either, saying, I don't like what you did and I'm gonna penalize you, because that's not in the best interest of the Parks Commission or the parks itself.
Right.
You gotta consider the citizens as a whole. All I was trying to say, and I wasn't trying to be attacked, was that whatever you choose to do, make sure this is your law. Make sure that you are working in concert with the wording in that law. That's all my recommendation.
Because they have full authority once you give it to them. You can't trump it according to state law, as far as I know.
I guess
Trump is a bad word.
I agree with the state law. I was the one who pushed for what you're reading. And I agree with having all these extra people that are involved in the city. I guess I'm questioning what keeps me up late at night is 911 calls getting unanswered. And so that 9% that's going to the parks, it just seems to be a willy-nilly, whatever, I mean,
Want
grass has gotta
need.
be mowed and all that.
It goes back to wants and needs kind of.
Maintenance.
Grass has gotta be mowed, parks, whatever, okay. That part, I might start over time taking that 9%ing, reducing it and putting it in labor into the fire department, because I think that's a higher priority when 911 calls are not getting answered.
Right, well, just to ease your mind, though, that's part of that study session that I'm talking about.
Right. So it is in a way related to,
Right, well, we've got a
So-
game plan that we're gonna present at the study
I'm gonna defend a little bit the Parks Commission, for instance. I'm all for, and Chief knows this as much as anybody in this room, and so does Tom, that what I'm for the fire department, and the very first thing I'm for is increasing bodies over there. Not necessarily ready on a Station 3 yet, or anything else before we get some more firemen or women. whatever. But the Parks Commission's role is the parks. They're gonna be concerned about that, what they've gotta mow and what they've gotta do with the funds they have. Would they gladly give up a percent if they thought we needed more firemen? That may be a good way to ask the commission. But their role as a commission is to take care of the Parks Department and not, as in the fire department, and Stuart, now we kind of joke about this sometimes. Every time something comes up, I always say, well, just take it from the fire department. That's a joke. But Stuart does not come to work every day thinking what he needs to do for the parks, if I'm fair. Now, the importance, life-saving importance is up here, right, for us. So it's just an interesting thing. I see what you're saying, and I don't disagree with it. It's just once you give power, or authority, I should say, I don't like power. Once you give authority to whatever commission it is, it's theirs to do with. Fortunately, unfortunately, however you want to look at it.
Well,
But to consider not giving as much to something in order to fix a problem is a great frame of mind to be in. I mean, if you're struggling, I mean, nothing against Casey, because he knows how I love and live and breathe parks. But if they're rocking and rolling and they're putting in a park every year and they've got extra money, and he doesn't have enough guys to fight a fire in the middle of the day because everybody's working, then you got something to talk about.
I think that's my point. And everybody knows Tim was never real crazy about commissions, but I was always crazy about them. A&P Commission was my push. Water and Sewer Commission was my push. Parks Commission was my push. And
you always been pro park to the next level also. I mean,
And Tim is correct. You don't have these commissions for good mayors, you have them for bad mayors. But it goes a little beyond that. When you have 5 water commissioners in place, you got 5 parks commissioners in place, you got 15 to 20 people that are involved in the city that wouldn't be involved in any other way. And that makes us stronger. Our Parks Commission has done a really, really good job. It's just, but like I said, the part that keeps me up at night is 911 calls getting unanswered, that are not getting answered. And you go to the parks and we just seem to be popping up with all these extra employees. And I'm thinking maybe our priorities are wrong. And you're right, that's not Casey's fault. And Stuart, it's not Stuart's fault. Stuart's working with what we give him. Casey's working with what he give him.
Come on.
I'll answer his question 0. He asked how many extra employees he got this year. He didn't get any.
But I think it was to me, it's always like Steve had said, really parks is all about, quality of space, and Steve's always impressed that upon me, and parks really do add to our quality of space here at Greenwood, and it attracts a lot of people to, come to Greenwood, along with our schools, along with our sports programs, and along with our fire protection, our police protection. We're safe, one of the safest towns in Arkansas. But also along that is, yes, we're doing a great job of, building parks and gaining parks, but along with that comes the maintenance of those. And you have to have, them to be maintained, because people quickly notice that too, when the grass starts growing too high or whatever, and they're not maintained. And so I think, we have to be careful in how we strike that balance, and saying that it's, we just can't overgrow ourselves, that we're not maintaining what we have.
Can I ask a question of you, Casey? Yes, sir. I think it's imperative somewhat that you, if you want to, you don't have to. I'm not telling you what to do because you got a commission. That was a little inside joke. is that you explain your thought process, because I know you had a thought process. I watch you every day, and not trying to defend anything necessarily, explain to the council your thought process of doing away with one employee and having another employee to do a thing for a certain job task, and your plan, as Mr. Tedford has brought up, rightly so, you've got another park coming in soon. So I know you have a plan of some sort of getting that park mowed with what you have, or something.
Well, it wouldn't change anything for us right now as far as the labor goes, because we mow that park.
There you go.
So it
That
doesn't
could be
change
less mowing
anything.
Once you get the
It's
park
less,
in.
Right. We're gonna have, less grass to mow, because the grass in the park is gonna be turf, just like we have on our football field here.
Problem solved.
Problem solved.
Well, that's the reason I needed him to say it, because I could have said it, but that's not my department.
There would
That's,
still be a maintenance issue
Yeah.
5 years
Well,
down the
yeah.
road, whatever, upkeeping.
I mean, you got
You know,
mulch.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
you got a rubber mulch, that's
No mulch.
There is no
No
mulch.
Right on that one.
It's field turf.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you gotta tighten screws, you gotta make sure that the slide's safe and,
Yeah.
and things like that.
We still have plenty of capacity in the maintenance side of things. So that's not a concern for us. The new position was a complete pass-through. We're actually we're paying less for this position by about $800. This new person does not have dependents. We do not pay for any of their healthcare benefits, so that's saving us about $4,000 a year. No, we're not paying into retirement. That's saving us about $2,000 a year. And they're not eligible for overtime. It's a salaried employee. So we're not paying for overtime at the end of the
Why are
year,
you not paying for retirement?
because she's not eligible yet.
Oh, not eligible yet. You will be paying for retirement.
We're talking about this fiscal year, though. That's the focus of this conversation, that's what I'm thinking.
Well, I think that's, back to Rod's original point, that's the issue with that. It's gonna be there upcoming, and so we just keep getting stockpiled of,
But it wouldn't change anything, because we would still be, the person that was here previous, we would still be paying that retirement for them.
right?
And same for this new person, we would pay retirement for them as well.
I wanna add a little, half a cent's worth, from a perspective of watching your guys. I've noticed more things being attended to. This is not about anybody that's not there anymore, but whatever you've done to regroup and restructure, thank you. In my opinion, as an ex-old Parks guy and mayor that drives around and looks at stuff, there's been more attention paid to other things that were neglected, and they're kind of stepping up the game.
We don't sit idle in our department. Our team works.
I had a question I was gonna get with you when we got to the, department head, but since you're up here and this kinda goes along with that, we had a birthday party for my granddaughter at Bell Park, a couple weeks ago, and it was in a pavilion, not the big one, but like the first little bitty small one, maybe number 2 maybe over here.
Should be one.
She
Jill
turned
Bell-
2.
Oh.
Jill Bell's one.
Okay.
It was this first smaller one, I think, there. Well, there was a lot of dirt had washed into that, and it was just literally all dirt on the
Got it.
deal, and I didn't know how often, if y'all know somebody's fixing them, I don't know if those have to be reserved, or if it's first come, first served.
Reserved.
Okay, so I was just wanting to
I'll tell 'em-
ask,
I'll tell them tomorrow.
you know what I'm saying, if something comes up, well, 4 is being reserved today, we need to go up and make sure
Got
that the slab is clean. And it wasn't an issue, but it was kinda slippery, because it was loose dirt that was washed, and it was dried, and
It's very timely. That's something our new person can do.
well, it wouldn't take long, I don't think, to just broom it out, but I meant to say something last month that I completely forgot, but
Yeah.
anyway, yeah,
She's managing the reservations of all those pavilions now.
Yeah.
So,
and it wasn't bad, but a trash can, make sure the trash can's empty, that's little stuff, if you know something's gonna be used this weekend, or next Monday, or,
absolutely.
yeah.
Can you use them though? But to guarantee, you have to reserve them.
Right.
You can just use them if they're
That's
not
correct.
reserved. Okay.
Yep, yep.
If you want to make sure, yeah, guaranteed.
Thank you.
I really try not to do willy-nilly. I'm in that guy's office probably more than anybody else.
I moved it closer.
Yeah, he did. They literally, although you didn't shut the door,
It's a wall.
there's a wall there, All right, thank you, sir.
Can I answer any other questions?
Well, I was just wondering, you said that's what the new person's gonna be doing. And so what, I guess that was, to me, was under your job description. You know, so now what is your job description now?
Capital projects, grants, and going on vacation without getting phone calls.
Enjoy.
I'm responsible for all of it still. I try to have our team work as a team.
I'd say, you know, I think every department head, you know, has that problem. You know, we're going on vacation and still getting phone calls and stuff, you know,
Well, I have someone here now that can actually help me, that's willing to help me.
Makes sense.
All right, anything else? Thanks. Mr. Powell, were you good on that one?
I'm good on it.
Okay. Number 5 is AC Brown, discussion on trail and tunnel lighting.
yes, I was just wondering, you know, where do we stand on the, and Casey might need to come back up here. You know, where do we stand on the lighting on the trails and then the lighting in the tunnel?
2 light poles, we still have the light poles left over, the actual poles left over from the last project, so we'll be able to reuse or actually put those to use. We'll have 2 extra light poles wired into each side of that tunnel, and then we'll actually install light just like we have under the bridges right now. All Phase Electric is willing to do the work. It's about $11,000, which is an absolute steal. Conduits ready to go. Those conduits from the terminating points of the lights, they're ran underground right now and capped. So all they have to do is tie into those and take off. Once I find out that that ground will no longer be disturbed in those areas, then we'll probably go ahead and get it taken care of. But it will have to be in next year's budget unless I can come and get a budget resolution from y'all to get it taken care of.
Well, I sure would like to see it done this year. I mean, this project has been going on, and we've been, you know it's gonna be near a completion and stuff, you know, and so I know that, to me, again, we talk about, you know, the importance of our parks and the trails and stuff, you know, and I know a lot of people have been waiting a long time to have that trail, you know, in continuity again and stuff, and I sure would like to see that.
So,
So now it's shut down again over here.
Yeah.
so while we're on the bridge, let's talk about the drainage, and mud in the bridge. I mean,
Tunnel.
in the tunnel.
Okay.
Is there plans to do any kind of grading on either side to keep that out?
They've told us several times that water should not be pooling in those areas. They also told us that before it was ours to maintain, that they would have those issues remedied.
There has been at least, I have a conversation with RDOT how often, Danielle? Every other week. Do I call, if they're not here in this building, do I call engineers and remind them of the situation, take pictures, send it to them, and we have a verbal guarantee that before contractors leave Greenwood, Arkansas, that bridge, or that tunnel, I did it too.
Yeah.
That tunnel will be made to not hold water. That does not mean that on a downpour, a torrential downpour,
Sure.
Water would not run in there and stay for a period of time. But the idea is that it doesn't, that we don't raise bass in there or crawdad or catfish.
They just told us last week again.
Yeah,
We called to
and-
check on that and then the Mount Harmony turn lane.
And they can get tired all they want of me asking, but I ask at least once every 2 weeks.
Well, I would hope it was poured in with a little bit of a rainbow action, so it
Well,
wouldn't hold.
so, you know, one would hope.
I'm not an engineer,
I'm
but I
not an
make fun of
engineer,
them a
and
lot.
I keep reminding myself of that, but if I went over there, in fact, Mr. Local Engineer Hunter Michaels, who's not an engineer either, but is close to one around here that we've got, I think, designed some extra wing walls, in our opinion, how you might make that work. But RDOT has said to me many times, Mayor, it'll be fixed, we won't leave you a pot, or a pond, so.
Do we have any kind of sign off or approval of what they leave us, or do they just drive off?
Well, I think I'm taking a verbal, I don't know what you mean.
Like a punch list, is that what you're asking about?
I don't have a punch list on the tunnel, other than them telling me constantly, we're gonna fix this. And I don't doubt it for a half a second. I will not think that RDOT will leave us with a bad deal,
When,
or Forsgren.
and so when can we get in there?
I
and
may
put
be
the-
too naive in that matter.
When can we get in there and put the lights in?
I think that's up to all phase. The tunnel, the construction of the tunnel is complete.
I just wanna be
What they
sure.
have to address is riprap and/or ditches and/or whatever it is to get that water out.
Yeah, I just wanna be sure that
So,
whenever.
I mean, I don't think all phase is only gonna stand in knee-deep water putting in lights. I wouldn't, but as far as I'm concerned, and I haven't asked that question of Forsgren, hey, can we get in there and put the lights up? But he's probably gonna look at me and go,
Is
Have at it.
Forsgren, are Forsgren the folks that built the tunnel?
no, well, I don't, Manhattan Bridge, I believe, built the tunnel.
I mean, I'd have to assume that it's not doing this, it's got sort of wooden fill.
No, the problem is, I mean, if I go over there and look at it and you do too, us not being engineers agreed upon, the sidewalk goes down into it. Now,
Well, it's gonna hold water.
in my,
It goes all the way, it slants all the way to one end.
Yeah,
And
it
it drains
does.
out the other end.
yeah.
Oh, okay, well, that might not
So
hold.
there's a plan in place to get it out of there, and I'm telling you, I drive them crazy. But I don't have a,
Yeah, I guess it's all kind of a downhill.
Yes.
As long as it's not flat or,
yeah, no.
Kind of goes downhill
Convex.
east, from west to east.
right, yeah, yeah.
And in the world where I live in, we would have had a Main Street connection that goes like this, and they'd have raised that up where it would never, ever, ever have any water. But I don't think that's logical on the street.
So you said it's opening Thursday,
Thursday.
and so when the trail,
No, the bypass,
the bypass is opening Thursday?
yes, sir.
And then the trail will open when?
Whenever they get through with the rest of what they're doing.
We've got all this closed off now.
They've got this is shut off here. They're building a temporary road
Right.
right here out our back door. In fact, Shannon's worried that they're gonna come through her window with a backhoe. That's a temporary road for access for Mobley, or whoever's gonna demo this bridge. Mobley to come in here and take that bridge out. And then, as you know, there was a stake, and you probably can't see it now. I'm gonna say 8 feet this side of that bridge that represents the farthest this way. What direction are we, Hunter?
I mean,
It's
north.
over there.
This way of the new bridge. You won't be able to drop your deposit in the deposit from on the road, but it's getting a little closer
A
to
good paper airplane.
to
by
City
the way.
Hall, yeah. Yeah, so that's all, you can't walk, you cannot get on the trail behind City Hall anymore.
Well, you could just run right here.
Well, you just, what,
So
40
when
feet?
when can the lights go in?
That's what I like, the 40-footer.
In the tunnel?
When can the lights go in?
I don't know. I think that would be up to,
As soon as we have a budget resolution passed for me to spend the
Oh,
extra money, right?
there you go.
And that budget resolution would
We're up to
draw money
99%.
from parks, sales tax? Well, can you have it next month?
Charlotte, would you care to put that on our agenda?
On the parks? The what? Sorry again.
It's okay. The trail lighting, adding those
Tunnel.
poles.
Adding
On
what?
either side of the tunnel, lighting
Lighting, on-
throughout
yes,
the, yeah.
yes, I will.
Where are
Budget resolution.
the two lights right now that you said that the two pole lights that we
Where the
have?
poles, they're in the.
Sorry, I
street
didn't
department.
hear you.
With
And
the
that-
street department?
And that budget resolution is gonna include a light inside the tunnel?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So you wanna
And we had the
develop?
two, we have two existing poles right now that were removed, and we still have them.
Not removed, they're extra to the project.
They were extra to the project, so,
There was one back here that we have removed.
okay.
It's over in our shop right now.
And so and there's one more somewhere?
No,
I don't think so.
completely separate.
Okay.
Disregard that. We have 3 light poles that are just the body of the pole, and they're stored behind our storage area at Ridgecrest.
Okay.
Not being disrespectful to you.
Oh, yeah. So I was just wondering, I heard like that we do have the light poles, you know,
Correct.
we just need to.
Casey and I
The
were,
light body itself.
Decorative light.
I pulled in the other day and they were in our backyard back here, really close with backhoes, and this guy was amazing. He's run that track hoe before, but he's back there just manicuring this thing with a giant machine, and there were, of course, 7 guys watching him. So I went down to watch with them. And we had a discussion about the pole that was removed right out here. And Casey had to cover up he had the pole removed, had all phase
Just the, yeah.
stub it out, if whatever, protect it. And then he went and got a trash can or something.
Mineral tub.
Old mineral, and stuck it over it. And they covered it with soil, for the slope of the temporary road. So if you knew where that pole were and you're thinking, well, we lost that, well, it's not lost. It's under dirt that will be removed once they build the road or replace the bridge. And to answer, sorry,
Go ahead.
just off on another little bit thing, I said again today in a meeting with RDOT, 3 people from RDOT and all of us talking about the logistics of the opening of the bypass, and Chief had asked me a while back, which I was also concerned. So I've asked now 3 times, and I made sure today too, with Mr. Forsgren himself, I guess. I don't know if he's not a Forsgren, but anyway, I said, we're gonna do this, and he was informing me that the outside lanes wouldn't be open, so it's another phase of that. That's what they call that. And I said, well, I'm assuming you're not allowing traffic over there because you're gonna finish painting the bridges? Because I don't know if anybody here knows, but 2 bridges are not painted. The other ones are beautiful.
Yeah.
And he looked at me and goes, yes, that's correct, painting the bridges. So, as much as sometimes it looks like we're not on top of stuff, we're on top of stuff, or everybody is. It's not, we're on them. Now, will they leave and we have to call them back on something? That's possible.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
we're kind of on the demo of this bridge.
Yes, sir.
I had a concerned citizen text me wondering about the Thursday ribbon cutting versus closing off this section.
So, yeah, good question or thought. So,
So RDOT has most recently put out directives.
It's
and I
out?
shared it on the city page.
okay.
Casey shared it on Parks
It-
and all the other pages.
It will, from my perspective on this, what we were told today, we will do and the ribbon cutting is not for the bypass. The ribbon cutting is for our main street. The celebration is for the opening of the bypass. Later, when everything is finished, the 2 new bridges tore out, the new road built here to go down to 96, when everything is finished, not the widening of 10, but everything, they will come back and we'll do another whoop-de-doo, probably ribbon cutting and saying, we're done.
Well,
But to your,
just not to confuse people, those 3 lanes will be open after this ribbon's cut.
yeah.
Not just you can drive down there, have to turn around, come right
No,
back out.
no. You'll be able to get
Right.
on at 96, Keith Glass, I'm old.
So it's for the bypass.
It is for the
per se.
bypass, but it's not a legit, they can't call it a ribbon cutting for the bypass because it's not all,
Complete. I
each
get
end's
that.
kind of messed up.
I get
It's
that.
not all the way to Coker Street.
But
Yeah.
when will we have to cancel traffic between the bridges?
Almost within an hour.
Oh, okay, so it's.
So they will, here's what I was told today. Here's 96 down there. This is horrible. I don't have enough toys up here. Here's, there you go. Here's the bypass, the new bypass. I don't know what that is. All right, this is not working. So down there at 96, when we do our opening,
Do you need this?
our speeches. No, I'm
It's
good.
a school bus.
It's a school. No, this is the trolley. The trolley, when we do our announcements, Commissioner will be here, Miss Arkansas, we're just gonna do a little fun stuff down here at the entrance, right where the Masonic Lodge used to be, right there on that entrance onto Main Street. We'll do that. That'll be, and people will park behind the courthouse to participate. Nothing's changed down here. The
Right.
bypass is not open. You're still coming down here. But as we do that and get finished with it, the trolley will then take whoever wants to ride in the trolley on the first, I've been on it a few times, but not the trolley. The trolley will now be the first official vehicle on an open bypass getting on Main Street, and we'll probably, we can hang her left or hang her right, either one, or both, and come back, turn around, and do whatever we want. But as that happens, within a 30 minutes to an hour, the blockades that are keeping you off of the bridge down here by Sean Lynn's property, by the bypass on 96, will be pulled over and block off this road. So,
So
Center
Bell Road will
Street,
be the
it'll
end
be
of the
like off
line.
Center Street.
yeah, you will, and then they'll do the same on this end.
Yeah,
You won't get past City Hall.
okay, so Thursday, it's all over.
It's happening,
Okay.
it's happening Thursday, and people will freak out.
Correct.
Yeah, there you go.
At least it's not school.
Yeah.
Yeah, and by the
It's not
way,
school.
so you know, they were gonna do this the week before school was out.
No, my God.
And we begged, please do not do that, and they said to me, Mayor, we hear you, but if that stops Forsgren from doing what they're contracted to do, that costs way too much money. We'll help you deal with it. Fortunately, there was a lot of rain, and they got postponed, and so we're doing it Thursday.
We received a lot of complaints too about them painting the road.
Oh, my
at
gosh,
5
it was
o'clock.
horrible.
They picked the strangest times to do things. Like today, we were at eating lunch at the dairy. Danielle gets a call from the PD, the lady that's in charge at the PD, Kristen, and said, "What's going on?" Traffic was backed up. We didn't know from where, but traffic was backed up, I guess, on the other side of, or down by Walmart. I don't know. So we may or may not have cheated with the street truck, got on the bypass to get around that traffic, went down to the other end to investigate, and we get to the end where the bypass begins down there. And what they were doing, they were having to single lane traffic because they were laying new asphalt today. So it's a rush, hurry up and get this thing. I can tell you that it's just how things work sometimes. Best laid planning is not always, doesn't work, and it's not us, it's them. Forsgren guy was not real thrilled that he was having to hurry up and get this thing open Thursday. He would have just as soon not and finished up what he's got on each end, but RDOT says you're gonna open it up. So, there will be quite a fun, it'll be interesting, people will not be happy, and I understand, in order to go to the east side of town, and if you're on, you know, if you're on the west side and you want, so right there, you're gonna hang a right, you're gonna get on the Main Street connection, and you're gonna go left, and you're gonna get east, you're out of here. And that's how you gotta get to the schools, which are not, well, if you live over there, that's the route you gotta take, and then the opposite coming back. Now, if you're coming back into town from there, if you wanna go downtown or to City Hall, you turn right there, come back to the square, hang another right, and go down to City Hall. But that's as far as you'll go right there.
Let's just say that there's a mailman that delivers in Forest Hills.
Right, right,
And Home Edition.
right,
Where the mayor lives.
yes,
It has to go back and forth.
yes, she's not gonna be happy?
No.
No, I understand.
A male person?
Male person,
She only hit a city council member.
Yeah. Oh, she knows.
Hey, there's no stop loss on the bypass.
Well, that was the other question I was
so
gonna
there
have.
you go, I'm glad you said that, cause that's, I know we're off topic here, but it's important to talk about this stuff. This is a big deal happening Thursday in Greenwood,
Mayor?
Arkansas.
Mayor,
Yes.
am I good?
Yeah, you're
I'll
good.
get the lights
Thank
ordered.
you very much, Casey.
Sorry.
So, down there, go back to 96, Tom, if you would. So that intersection right there will be traffic signals eventually. But Thursday will be a four-way stop, which people are going to literally, utterly hate.
Three-way.
Three-way. Sorry.
Which is not as bad.
That's true. So that's gonna be a three-way stop. Go on up, it's not in the picture, but let's go to Pink Bud, and that's not in that picture. By way about, that's as far as you can go. So when you get down to Pink Bud on your left, okay. Yep. When you get down to Pink Bud on your left and you're on the bypass, you're gonna just keep on going. There'll be no stop signal. There'll be no stop sign. You'll just head on out just like you're supposed to on a bypass.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Our issue today, as I mentioned earlier, was the concern of ours was people that have been driving forever. Daniel McDaniel, for instance, who lives down there, Dane Burgess, anybody that lives down South Coker, we'll have, tomorrow, we're planning on, RDOT kind of guaranteed us that tomorrow will be 2 stop signs on either side of that bypass to stop cross traffic.
Yeah, get them used to it.
We wished, in a perfect world, those stop signs were up 2 weeks ago. Even though there's no cross traffic, but we should have, RDOT, I'm not speaking ill of RDOT, but it would have been nice if we'd have had that up 2 weeks ago, get people used to it. So the stop signs will be up. We'll utilize our big flashing sign. We'll put any flashing thing we have to say, and a sign to say, stop, what does it say?
We can make the board say anything.
Well, I'm talking about even like the street sign that says,
Or,
stop ahead.
yeah, they're gonna add
Yeah.
stop ahead.
So
We'll put our LED
we're,
on it.
yeah, we're gonna do that on both sides of the bypass.
They have those little stop signs that have red lights
I
around
love
the
those.
octagon.
I love those things, and
It'd be very handy,
we
especially
talked
at
about
night.
investing in some of those.
I guess 2 stop signs is better than a stop light that you have to wait
Are you
for.
kidding
Yeah,
me?
yeah, that's
A four-way is better than a stoplight.
So, but in the future, now let me say this, and I've said it before, but just so everybody's on the same page, right there at that intersection, when I say we, everybody that's been in a room with me, with RDOT, which is Jeff and planning and a whole lot of people, have always said to them, please put your traffic signal, I'm sorry, but that's gonna need a traffic signal, because that's gonna be a big deal,
Where at?
where I just described.
Coker?
On Coker.
When it becomes 5 lanes.
When that becomes a legit 5-lane, we need something more than a stop sign. So they said to us at one time, Hunter knows and everybody else knows, that we're gonna plan for that. We're gonna go ahead and have the right of ways for it. And I was under the impression they're gonna put wire in the ground for it. I don't know that that's happened, but, and heaven forbid that they wait for an accident to happen to do it, but they know that they know that we know that that's gonna need a traffic signal someday. There's just no way around it. So, that's what's happening, and that was our issue, and the police department, was concerned as we are too, so
So that'll just be, that way traffic will be backed up over there and not over here now.
that's right, that's right, that's
So
right.
it's a
And the
traffic
good-
relief is
and I-
really what you've done.
The traffic relief, that's what we call it. It's 3-lane, it'll look odd, because you will have a lane on both sides of this 3-lane that is perfectly finished, but that they don't want anybody on it, because that 5 lanes going to 2-lane. And you don't want that just to happen. You want 3 lanes to 2 lanes. And then when they have a plan. All right, I'm so sorry. That's a lot of stuff.
Well, it's very important to know,
It is,
especially
yeah.
people need to know about this being closed,
Yeah.
because they're gonna come around the square and just
Absolutely.
woo, then they're gonna turn on bell and go all the way around.
We even talked about today, we still have, the idea of a bypass is to get the heavy truck traffic off of downtown. Other than local delivery, you're never gonna stop that, you don't want to, but there is still a renegade, 18-wheeler coming both ends of town. And when they come around when they get right here, what are they gonna do?
Yeah.
So there'll be times where we're directing an 18-wheeler.
If
Here
you can
lately,
catch them trying to turn around, just go ahead and write them the citation.
you know where they've been coming lately? You know where I live. They're on my street, and that is a hairpin, and that's crazy. And I'm like, I just went out there one day and just waved at the guy. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Anyway, we'll deal with it. All right, I'm sorry. Parks, you're up.
You could've just stood up here.
Yeah, ordinance declaring related party with Jules Bakery and Megan Potter, first reading.
Oh, I'm interested in this.
I bet. New team member we just hired, her family owns Jules, and very periodically we buy things from Jules for special events or for study sessions, such and such. So I just wanted to be transparent and present a resolution for her.
I make a motion to put this ordinance on by first reading, title only.
Second.
You dang right.
Have a motion and a second.
It is. Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Maker?
Yes.
Mr. Terry?
Yes.
Mr. Rainwater?
Yes.
Mr. Tedford? Mr. Powell?
Yes.
It's unanimous. An ordinance declaring related parties, authorizing the city of Greenwood to conduct business with Jules Bakery and for other purposes.
Thank you.
There's no emergency, right?
No, sir.
Are those a bribery, those 2 dozens out there in the front of the foyer? I see some donut boxes from here.
Those are left over from today's ribbon cutting, or ground baking. All right, number 7 is, Mayor's Senior Citizens Center update. I try to do this, haven't been doing it as often as I should, but tonight I wanna, I think I may have told you, informed you a while back that we bought a storage building for the center. And these are both of these items, if not 3, I don't spend any money without it being under my $5,000 limit. But we bought a building, we then, or the other way around, we poured a slab to put the building on, and instead of just pouring a separate slab from the building and just having it out there on the island when the cooks and whoever goes out to get their goods, we decided to basically pour connecting to the building, which is all legit. Hunter was there, he measured, we got the building away from, so we did that. We bought the building. We purchased guttering for the building before we first got in, but we only guttered the front of the building. For every action, there's a reaction. When it came a pour down, we realized that water began to run in the back door. Lisa's really quick to call me and tell me, or Danielle, what's going on. And the reason the water was running in the back door is that we poured a slab. Did I just say that?
Mhm.
So we created that, so we had gutter guys come back up and gutter the back of the building, which I was hoping I didn't have to do, but
Are you sure you weren't involved in Maple Ridge design?
I'm sure.
Okay.
I am sure. I think that's it. We did irrigation. We invested out there now this is all grant money left over and/or money left over from the purchase of the right-of-way. This did not affect, general fund. So we landscaped the building as we needed to. Real quick, we realized, somebody's gotta water that. So we purchased, irrigation like we have here. I think that's all I've got. As we do other things, I've got a nibble on I'll come back to you, but I'm looking at a walk-in cooler freezer. Again, this is still money left over. I'm not gonna go spending money without you know where it's coming from. So I'm looking at a cooler freezer. I watch Marketplace all the time, and this thing is $5,000. I'm trying to get them a little lower, but they already cut it some. And Jeff may and I may go look at it tomorrow. It's actually running. It's not like the one that was donated to us that we never got because it was not good, Portsmouth, although we appreciate it. This is running as I speak, and so we're gonna go take a look at it and
That
see.
was also part of the reasoning behind the concrete slab.
Right, to set this cooler.
Just set a cooler, future cooler on,
Yeah.
so while we were there, we just wanted to finish.
Yeah, and they're making it. I will tell you, when we bought the building and furnished it with the grant money that we received or the ARPA money, they have, I think, 4 nice-sized commercial freezers in that back room. And I go out there often, and they are crammed full of stuff, and it just rotates all the time. So they're making it, but it would be nice to have some more refrigeration and freezer space out there.
So what was being dug up by the sign there in the front?
So, that's good news, in my opinion. That is a fire hydrant. Chief just left. It is not, remember this discussion back when we decided to do this building or didn't decide? There's no hydrant there. James Ford, I asked months and months and months ago, a year ago, what's the chances of us ever getting a fire hydrant over there? And the answer was, if you pay for it, you can get it. And it was $20,000, just talk. And then it became, I was made aware, you'll have a fire hydrant, but it's not I wish he was in here, and you may know the term, it's not, it provides you with water. You don't,
But it's not a full-fledged.
you can't put your truck into it and suck water out of it. It's water available. So, which entails, I guess, I don't know what that means.
You can put a hose in it and squirt water out of it? but not the truck.
I'm relying on,
Means if we don't realize that, we take our gigantic ladder,
Yeah.
tie it to it, and turn the
Well,
suction
that's
on,
the-
and we collapse the pipe.
well, that's the worst, that's a bad thing.
But it's not the same size.
But the good news is you got water, and you didn't have water.
Yeah, any water would be, is better than
Exactly.
no water.
So James Fort called me, or James Fort called me and he said, Mayor, do you still want this? And I said, I absolutely do. And he said, now this is what it is. It's not what you would like to have because that's not a 6-inch line.
I was gonna
It's a
say,
4-inch
yeah.
line.
But you could fill your tank on your engine, or
Right.
if there's a tanker operation, they set up the
So-
pool, and you can do that. At least there's a supply right there.
Now,
Yeah, you really hope that you get there early enough, you can get a good hit down
Yeah.
with what you have on the truck.
and I will,
'Cause the replenishment is gonna take forever.
yeah, and I'll tell you, the chief, as he should, and I knew he would, but I invited him. I said, Chief, I need you to go to the senior citizen with me because we're getting a, whatever it's called, hydrant. And he just said, oh, well, that's better than nothing. That was a positive comment. And I said, I need you to go with me so you can tell him exactly where you want it. Because I know if I don't take you,
He'll complain about
you're
it.
gonna tell me later that it should have been 6 inches over here. So I take him out there, and I'd say this in front of him, I love the chief. He basically argued with the engineer about that should be 6-inch line. Well, that engineer could care less. He was very nice, and we understand it should be a 6-inch line, but they're not gonna pay for it.
It could have been 6 inches for about 10 feet, and then it still goes
Well,
back to 2 inches.
Yeah, so what you have is a brand-new fire hydrant to supply you water with. You don't wanna hook your truck up, but I don't know how you guys make sure
You can
nobody
truck up
does
to it,
that.
You just don't wanna, you wanna watch the vacuum,
Yeah,
make sure not.
Yeah, so that's what that is. That cost is undetermined just yet to me, and I told him, without council's blessing, and here was the other thing, and this is kinda like what you're talking about earlier when Parks comes up and says, we've already done it. This may be that situation, and I'll hate it, but they said to me, and I don't know if you've noticed, the 4-inch is halfway down 10 now. They didn't stop at our hydrant. They kept coming toward Greenwood. They're replacing that line. So he said, you get it today, or you don't get it at all. Or you tell me you get it, you want it. And I said, I want it. And and then I need a price. So I don't know what that is yet. It's not gonna be $10,000. I do know that. But I'll let you know what it is, and hopefully we can work that out, everybody.
Did you tell him we needed all that replaced to 6-inch line for
Oh, I
hydrants?
did. That's what I was gonna say, is the chief stood there and looked at the guy and said, you know this ought to be 6. And he goes,
I mean, just the
totally.
stuff going down the highway,
Yeah,
just so they're, yeah, right.
He said, I totally agree, because where are you guys gonna grow? Right down there, on those farms. That's gonna be either commercial or subdivisions. He goes, I got you, but we don't do that, because, as you know, that's not their concern, fire protection. I'm not suggesting it, and it's probably, nothing's ever too late, I suppose, but if the city decided that that's important for growth, and I think it is, maybe you have a conversation that you share cost, they're 4-inch to a 6. I don't know. That's not what I'm talking about tonight. But right now, they went on up the road or toward Greenwood with a 4-inch line. So it's one of those things, and and the chief, he did what I expected him to do. He changed his mind 5 times where the plug was gonna be. And then he kept saying that ought to be 6-inch. And the guy goes, I got it. So that's what that is out there.
They do realize the road's gonna be widened.
They do. That's what
Okay.
they put
So
it.
they were
That's
moving
what they were doing. So it came very, very close to the building, the storage unit building, and closer than that. It got in their flower bed, which is not a big deal, but yes, they're well aware. And there's other utilities being located as we speak out there.
You know, those water district deals, we've been back and forth on this. Attorney General's opinion is super vague.
Yeah.
We should have been able, when they're doing, is it on our city limits where they're putting the line or not?
Only city limits where the center is. And
They're
that was the other thing,
on
the
the
chief
south side
goes,
of
he
the
goes,
highway.
this is in the city limits and by code. I said, Chief, we all know. But we did not. The gentleman that owned that, Mr. Bell, I don't know if he officially requested, but he was asking about being annexed at one time. and he has sold it. Is that right, Sonny?
Yes, there's different.
So the only thing annexed out there on the south side of 10 is the Senior Citizen Center. Everything on the north side from there to Greenwood is city limits.
We still, I don't know, it'd be a big legal issue, but
Annexation?
no, making them put a 6-inch line. Because it's gonna be developed one way or the other, more than likely commercial,
I wish the
and it's
chief,
just useless. 'cause
I
we
wish the
can't-
chief was in here. He said something to the affair, or the lines, federal, somebody's not gonna pay for that. Whoever that was, I don't know what he meant exactly. But. So we got the best we could get, which is, you got a pond at Church of Christ, and now you got a hydrant that you can at least get water from, for whatever that's
That
worth.
hydrant, you can't attach to it, right?
It's kinda like the ones that you see out in the rural areas.
So just,
where
just
they
for filling,
Yeah,
Fill in the tankers.
so there's probably there's no way we would pull a vacuum and collapse the line? Okay.
I don't think you'll have, if you're still using the 5-inch, then for your supply, it won't even go on there.
oh, so.
2.5?
2.5 will, but are y'all still using, are y'all using 5 for your supply?
Yeah, we've got a Y that you can do 2.5s,
Okay,
and we could collapse the line with that.
yeah.
So your department, our department needs to be aware that
Well, that's quite a basket there, cause, you know, at 2 AM, you never know who's driving,
I know, but
communication.
I would hope that
Well,
that's.
there needs to be a marking, a G5 or a color coding, it's
I would
pink,
hope that's
so
something
don't-
very high priority to make sure that doesn't
Well,
happen.
we'll leave that to the fire god, and he works for you.
All right, that's what I got. Any questions?
Yeah, I got one question.
Yes,
So,
sir.
who would have been, I mean, they had to made the decision to run a 4-inch line. Where could we have inserted ourselves to have that discussion with them before they made that
I did
decision?
insert myself,
I mean,
and they said. not
before they
happening.
started?
They said, here's what they told me early on, if you wanna pay for it. Because they're not in the fire, suppression business. That's not what they do. They're in the water supply.
James Fork he's talking
James
about.
Fork.
James Fork. yeah.
Believe me, it was inserted. I did it more than once. Yep.
Really, and the way I look at it is that when the time comes and it is a subdivision going out there or a commercial building, you know, they pay for the infrastructure
we-
extension.
So to Ralph's point, we have them if they've been annexed. Because then,
That
We
that
tried
was
to annex
annexed.
that.
That's it. That's all that's annexed.
Right.
but we,
Beyond that, I mean, could I made them put a 6-inch on ours?
if
They
they
can't
were,
because
if
they're
they were
on-
operating in the city, yes,
Right, and the chief pointed that out to the engineer who could care less.
right.
His job is to put the thing in. I'm not saying it's the perfect scenario, but, and I don't know.
He wouldn't be the
I
guy
can
to
only,
talk to.
I can only tell and ask.
The board of James Fork, so you'd have to talk to, the
That's
engineer
right.
could care less.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and so he
I voted
even
against that,
said,
by the way.
I think he said this, cause Stuart, the chief, kinda kept on with him, the engineer, and he was really nice. And he said, I don't think it's gonna do you any good, because whatever's coming across the street, is that a 4?
That's coming under,
Yeah. Or is that a 3?
I think it's a 3.
It's a 3. He said, it's not gonna do you any good to hook a 6 up to a 3 for 100 feet. Now, is it against the code of ours not to have a 6 there?
But it's a little like our policy out at Shadow Lake. We've replaced from hydrant to hydrant, and we put in a 6. So like Tim Posey said, you got this little 1.25 inch and a half
Right.
line, goes to a 6, it opens up and then goes back.
Yeah.
After a few hundred feet, goes back. But at least we got one section right.
But you're not gonna get the pressure from the 3 to to your 6.
Right, but at
I'm
least
not an
we-
engineer, but I know.
But at least we don't have to dig all that back up to replace the line.
I'm standing there faced with a decision whether to have a fire plug with the water
Sure,
available or not.
it helps,
It's better than nothing.
yes.
What's, to me, going forward is really just, you know, how, when we do annex, how do we acquire, you know, customers
That's
from James Fork?
That's a whole deal. And, you know,
Shouldn't
we've been
have
to
to.
Little Rock, I don't know who here,
We did out there on.
went to Little Rock
Curve
with
and all
me.
that,
Yeah.
same thing, won't be that cheap.
We failed miserably at Little Rock one time back years ago when I went. Was that you, Sonny? I don't remember who went. Yes, sir? Okay. And that was just we wasted our time. Until somebody decides to govern rural, I'm not here to talk bad about Jamesport, because they do what they do and we do what we do, but
Yeah, it's the whole rural water.
it doesn't work well. When
Well, the
you're-
water rights deal is just, well, we're picking
Right.
this area on a map and this is ours.
Right.
And so some attorney general made that, opine, or whatever you wanna call it.
I don't like that situation
Super
any
vague.
better than anybody else does.
I voted against joining them anyway. I wanted to go to Fort Smith. That's neither here nor there.
We had a chance
Yeah, I know we
years ago.
did, yeah.
Any questions on that report? If not, we'll go on
Well
to,
done.
I'm sorry.
That was well done.
Okay. Number 8 is a phone system change, and my name's on it, but I'm gonna defer it to Charlotte.
Okay, so the IT committee has been spending months since mid last year, on trying to search and talk about and find the best phone system to replace what we have. We have an internet-based phone system with Cox. We had a 3-year contract. We have not been thrilled with the system. I've never liked the phones myself, but the handset, and it's just very difficult, if not impossible, to change, like, holiday messages, any kind of messages. Anytime we have something, an outage or whatever, we can't just go in there and put it on. So, DCR, whom we trust with our lives around here, they've earned that trust over the years, believe me. They've used Snapcom for some years, and they didn't want to necessarily influence us, but they recommended it. So we asked them as a committee to get us some quotes, using Dobson, who's running fiber here close to the building, but that's a long ways out, so we need something sooner. That could be an option later on, if this doesn't, whatever, fit our needs. But this is a voice over IP system, and so the decision for the council, because going with Snapcom is a better deal, we need to do that versus Dobson right now. But do we want to purchase the handsets and things, or do we want to lease them? And over the long haul of 36 months in the future, it saves money to purchase them. So that's what these figures are. DCR did so much footwork on this and getting everything lined out. Danielle and I watched a webinar on the Snapcom system. We really liked it. We were very impressed by it. So we are in agreement that we would like to go forward with that. Was talking to Travis today, and he's got a voice over IP system that he's using now, and he's enjoying it, him and his team.
It is Snapcom.
So you wanted to lease or purchase?
It's recommended to purchase because it saves money over the 36 months. And it neutral affect our budget this year, so, and any futures, it's the same amount of money. It's gonna be easier, it's gonna be better. One big plus is you don't have to have handsets. You can use your computer, you can use your phone. Travis was saying today how when you're using your phone, it doesn't use your personal number, it does something else, I don't know. Anyways, it all sounds great. They've used it for 4 or 5 years at DCR. They absolutely have glowing reviews over using it,
So
so.
when we purchase, the monthly will be $532 then, if we purchase, instead of the $921
Yeah,
that we're leasing.
yeah, because
Okay.
it's a lower price lease. You have to buy them up front, but
And what are we paying right now?
123,412 is our 36-month contract, so right about three.
and we had an outage last year with Cox that lasted 3 days.
Oxy's our current bill. So,
And so I'm saying if we purchase, then it's the 532 times 36 is the 29, and then you add in the 7 and the 35?
no, that's it. That's your outlay for 36 months with that one-time vendor.
Oh, okay, with that, so it's just 29?
Correct.
Wow,
It's
okay.
30 versus
120.
divided by the gross and divided by the tree. So if you're looking at 90,000 versus 123,000, that would be comparative. But over 36 months, you're saving.
Yeah, we're saving a lot of money by going to it too. I forgot to add that nice and.
And she's
bold.
got the lease number there too, which is the same 36 months as 36.6.
Yeah, and you can see the savings there.
So, on, what, do you know have they given you any indication of the useful life of the phones themselves? So if you're buying something,
Right. No, I haven't asked about that.
and the other question would be, if you leased, will they upgrade or replace? Yeah,
Imagine.
because that would, I mean, if you purchase it, you end up with that phone for whatever its useful life.
Well,
But if you lease, they
I will
might.
say, we're not buying all replacing phones. Some of us are not gonna have handsets
Yeah.
anymore, so we are reducing the inventory. That is that, for one thing. Another thing, going to where you can use.
Steve, the
cell
way I
phones
look
we
at it
already
is,
have.
if we're buying, you know, I mean, it says 29,000 is for the 36, over a 36-month period. If we're leasing, it's 36,000, and so really, the difference is really the outlay basically of the one-time purchase of phones. And I'm thinking if we get 3-year life out of phones and you have to buy, you know, at the end of 3 years, have to buy new phones again, you know, because of technology changes or improvements, I'd say that's really a pretty good deal.
They factor the lease of the phone sets into the monthly rate, so you're paying the lease fee, it's just 601 FWA.
Right.
And does that monthly rate, is that including all the maintenance and support for the system?
It shows the terms and conditions on here.
Okay.
It's just standard.
Okay.
So there's no, the budget turns out positive.
Right, and we are gonna have to pay, DCR for the switches, cause SnapCom does not provide the switches for the incoming.
That's factored.
But
That
yeah,
is
that's
factored
already
in.
in it,
That's the 35.
yes.
Okay.
And they've provided a detailed switches quote for us.
So is this stuff gonna be like a Wi-Fi based deal?
It's, I'm not sure because I don't have experience with it. Do what?
Wi-Fi based deal? Oh,
A can with a string.
It is gonna be, you are gonna be going over the internet as opposed
It's
to.
and it's a cloud
hardwired.
thing too.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with the voice over IP system,
me?
AC?
Oh, I'm just thinking, you really don't know the difference until, you know, just, you have an internet outage or something like that, you
Yeah.
know, I mean, you know, it's, the voice quality is.
I'm just worried about losing phone service if your Wi-Fi crashes.
I think,
Which happens a lot more than a tornado wiping out the building. Huh? Yes.
I've had something similar in Ozark, so if it crashed, if you can get on the internet at all, you can then forward your phones to whatever.
because of the cloud.
Yeah, so you could forward it to personal, you know, the department has to forward it. So
We
there
can't
is,
even do that right now
right, if you
with
could,
the system we have.
And you'll have an app that you can go in there and personalize, you know, your messages and.
Well, that's what Travis was showing me. He can hit an app and he can call from this and my caller ID will say his office
Yeah,
from his cell
it's-
phone.
It's got a lot of good features.
If the internet goes down, it run off towers if you have
Yeah.
that on your phones.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean,
I
as long as
just
you
wanna
can
make
get
sure
on
we
your
don't
phone.
lose phone service because some people may have a flip phone out there and can't do this.
Well, Travis had the point of, you know, if your phone has service, you know, you can still get on there and even if your internet's down here at the building.
So are you needing a vote on this?
Yeah, we need to know whether you'd like to purchase or lease, and, this will authorize the mayor to enter into whichever one you want, contracts.
I'll make a motion, we purchase the phone system and allow the mayor to enter into the contract.
We have a motion,
With SnapCom, yes.
With SnapCom, yes, sir.
we have a motion and a second.
Before we vote, I'd like, your next point, can it be included in this deal with Snapcom or they give that service or no?
You
Cox
talking about
Internet.
Yeah.
Cox Internet?
'Cause
Oh,
I thought Cox was talked about. We don't like Cox on the
No,
phone.
SnapCom is just a voice over IP system, just a phone system as far as I know. It's not internet.
Still have to be the backbone of your system.
Yeah,
The phone system?
until we get the fiber.
Everything right now is what we have, both phone and our computer.
Okay, I'm sorry, go ahead. I just wanna make sure we
Yeah,
put
that's
the
the
tire
next,
thing in.
right, no.
But like Charlotte's saying, until possible we go to fiber with Dobson.
Correct.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Meeker?
Yes.
Mr. Terry?
Yes.
Mr. Rainwater?
Yes.
Mr. Tedford?
Yes.
Mr. Powell?
Yes.
It's unanimous. Purchase.
You need to read it or anything? You good? Not a resolution. All right, thank you, gentlemen.
And then,
And Ms., you wanna go right into,
yeah, the internet.
internet?
Well, I mean, our, internet pricing, I don't know, do you know more about this, Tom, than I do? Anybody? We have to re-up with them, so we have to enter into, another contract, so we're talking about a 2-year contract for this internet service. DCR has been after Cox to give us a better standard of internet than, so we were sort of grandfathered in and getting an older service, whereas they would give new customers better service, right? So they've fought for us to get better, faster service. And this proposal increases the internet service at City Hall, Fire Station number 1, water distribution and wastewater, and reduces the price for internet everywhere but City Hall. So the reduction in price more than offsets the price increase at City Hall. And so this is the best supposedly we're gonna get because they've fought for us on it. And we have to have something, so we can't get Dobson yet. We do want it, we wanna pursue that, but that infrastructure is not in place yet.
Well, Wave's not in place either.
That's what I was fixing to ask.
Because we're SWEPCO, so we can't do that either.
Right,
So we're kind of
it's a different provider.
stuck.
Yep.
But I think we'll be one of the first customers when Dobson gets their, like, it's right across the street. So they tunnel under it and we're in.
2-year contract, and then we can do something else.
Right, and I mean, we've been having Cox, it's just, we would like the very fastest, and I think when Dobson gets in there, that'll be the fastest option and the most reliable option, of course, because it's fiber.
Have we heard back from, I know they've not been back here, but have we heard back from them at all, Danielle? Right, but we've not heard anything back. Okay.
It's just taking time for them, all their easements and all their rights of way and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, are you saying then for the new 2-year contract, it'll be the 350 for everybody, or all lumped into one? Or,
Well, I don't know, I haven't vetted these numbers, I mean, I know that they compute on a calculator or whatever, but, and all I know is these are the prices they have offered, this is what DCR has been on our behalf, we gave, the mayor authorized them to be our agent for this, because they have that knowledge, I mean, none of us that work here have this kinda, that's why we have them, you know. This fits our needs the best from what they can offer. Is it the most ideal? Probably not, but that's the only option we have right now. So we just need the authorization to enter into this 2-year contract. We really don't have much choice. This is our internet.
I'll make a motion, we allow the mayor to enter into the contract extension with Cox.
Second.
that.
We have a motion and a second.
Mr. Brown?
yes.
Mr. Meeker?
Yes.
Mr. Terry?
Yes.
Mr. Rainwater?
Yes.
Mr. Tedford?
Yes.
Mr. Powell?
Yes.
Unanimous.
All right, thank you very much. We are now to department, unless I've missed something, I know we moved around.
Nope.
Department head reports and questions from council. Got a few here.
I had a question from a citizen up on Nashville. What you guys got digging there? Is that along?
We're doing an overlay
Yeah.
of the street.
Where the flags are?
Yeah, that's the alley, I went blank. That's just identifying where the lines are for this to stay out.
Okay. That's what he was worried about, was that he has an easement there with some pipe that he was afraid was fixing to get dug up.
No, there's not gonna be anything in it, it's.
Is there only,
stay away from it.
aren't they just doing this as if, that's gonna be a tad wider than what it is,
Yeah, we're gonna gain some
but not,
as far as that goes.
but not into any right of ways or
Yeah,
anything?
we're not really
Roger questioning?
No. Roger knows, he's been out
I
there.
know exactly what's going on.
Or
Cause
chief,
I live
might have
on
been,
that street.
might have been chief, he lives there too.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else for anybody? If not, we'll go into council forum. When do we what? You don't, right now?
I do have one little.
Anytime
update
you want, sir.
after. At the end, I have an update on my conference.
Okay, do you have something?
Just to put in front of you, for consideration, this is June, and cards contract
Yep.
might need to be looked at. And I know there's some issues now with the water department, I talked with them today. There's a lot of issues with customers that have been customers forever that are getting their service cut off
With cards?
with cards. Well, that's what I was told today. They're very frustrated with customers and them doing some issues with the billing. And I know that when they do the write-offs, there's a lot of sanitation write-off with their water bills where they're turning it over to a collection agency. And they hear that in their meetings, the water commission does. So I didn't know what the discussion was gonna be, but we don't wanna wait till the 11th hour and then
I'd suggest we get Cody, sorry, good friend of mine. Cody in,
Kinda like Bob Purvis is.
kinda like Bob Purvis. Cody will be glad to come in and answer any questions regarding that.
Are you talking about people are still getting billed for trash that don't get service anymore?
no, they're not, are they being billed?
No, they can't because they don't have their information, because we do it. I mean, the issues that they had, as far as, so I'm the contact for cards, because I have a contact there, and I deal with
No.
So if they have issues in the water office, normally they'll let me know, but there was a case, I got a handful of customers recently did get their trash picked up, and when they reached out to cards, they were told, we don't have service with us anymore. And they do, because they're still getting billed for a water bill, and they still.
That's what I just said. They are getting billed, yeah. Yeah.
Glitching in their billing, but as far as I know, we've gotten it all addressed.
Well, I was told that today, so apparently they're still getting calls.
Okay, well, they told you something and they told me.
Just FYI. Cause it is June and I know.
Yeah.
that is
We'll get Cody in to
Now,
explain.
is the contract up at the end of June or the end of July?
Starts July 1, I believe.
Starts July 1, so
We should have had something in here tonight.
I actually thought we had another year.
we may have to have another special called.
Year to year, did it extend for 3 years?
Something was brought up, Cody was here not long ago, and he made me think that we were set for another year or two. I mean, we'll find out.
Okay, if that's the case.
Yeah, because jokingly, not jokingly, Danielle says to him, what are the rates gonna be? And he goes, same as they are now, we're not doing anything. So,
Oh, okay, that's what it is, their rates can go up.
yeah, they can, but they have to, yeah, but we'll check tomorrow and find out.
Charlotte, put that on the agenda for next June.
Next June,
Trash renewal.
Never too early.
really?
If the contract is up at the end of June, I mean, I'm for a special called meeting. Just,
I don't think yet.
But we don't forget, just in case.
okay.
Do you really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, there's a picture. We got E. So y'all don't want anything on the July agenda?
So if somebody moves out of a house and they cancel their trash, they need to call the water and cancel water and trash, is that how that works? Okay,
It's all in with the bill.
okay. So my mother doesn't need to call cards, they just need to call us about the trash service.
Which, if you have a problem with the trash service though, you call cards, right? I mean,
They can, but sometimes they have a hard time getting hold of them, so they'll call here and
Card.
then we'll address it.
Danielle's.
yeah, they call the water office and the water office can't get through, they say, to cards, so I don't know what in the world.
Danielle, there's not that name on her window, but she's also a cards employee.
Yeah,
Liaison?
Liaison.
Nah.
For a long time, I felt like I was on their payroll, but.
Yeah.
Straightened out.
Okay. Anything else, council?
Yes.
oh,
I just
Oh, I'm
wanted
sorry,
to
you had
tip-
something?
That's okay. I went to the IIMC, the International Municipal Clerks Conference. I was there from May 16th to 21st was when the classes were. I received 14 certifications
Yay.
in certificates that I completed all these classes and everything, passed little tests. We talked about, or I sat through classes on AI productivity, policy development and implementation, storytelling with minutes, clerky things. And it was a great deal, and $2,000 is on its way through the mail to get back to us to pay for that from the state clerks organization. And so thank you for allowing me in the budget to go. And it was quite a good experience representing our region and the state. in that
Appreciate your
capacity.
diligence.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you doing it, representing us.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second. That was my line.
Did Tim second?
I'm adjourned,
Yeah.
yes, I did. I've adjourned
But
every
he stole
meeting for
his
20
line.
years.
Oh, sure.
Don't touch them donuts.
Shocked me, did you? When you said it, I was like,
After that.
They get a city discount when you go.
yeah,
Get a card.
whether we like it or
I
not,
don't blame you.
it's done.
I'm doing good.